This is the sway swing characteristic. So basically a sway is any kind of lateral motion away from the target. So in your setup position, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line from your ankle joint all the way up your side of your leg to your hip joint. It's going to be on a slight angle. Now during your swing, I'm going to want you to stay on this side of the line. At any point, if you move on the other side of the line, you're considered to be swaying. Now there's lots of great players that sway, but it's just how to identify that swing characteristic. So again, we're going to take you in your setup position, draw a line from your ankle joint to your hip joint. Any part of your body on this side of the line during your swing, you're considered to be swaying.
Let's talk about the sway. Sway is one of those swing characteristics that can lead to multiple other characteristics, so it's a very critical thing to try and eliminate. Now, the sway can be a physical problem or it could be a technical problem, but you don't know unless you screen yourself. I'm going to show you two simple little tests to see if your body potentially is part of the problem. The first one, you're going to need a chair. Go ahead and just sit on a chair. I've got my knees about pelvic width apart, feet pelvic width apart. I want you to take your hands, put your arms down by your side. They're not touching your side, they're just down by your side. One of the things that we found is that ankle mobility is very important. In the backswing, your ankle needs to be mobile. If it's not, it can cause you to sway. So your ankle needs to be able to what's called invert and evert. It needs to be able to rock back and forth. Let me show you how to test this. All you're going to do is sitting there, sitting tall, in this position, arms down by your side, watch my feet. I'm just going to invert and evert my ankles. I'm just taking my ankles back and forth. And I just want to see, can you take your ankles back and forth? Because a lot of you at home, if you're doing this right now, if your knees are moving, that's not your ankles, that's your hip or your knee. You should be able to move your foot independent of your knee and your hip. If your ankle can't do this, then potentially your ankle mobility is causing you to sway. That's important. That's test number one. Test number two, I'd like you to go ahead and lay down on your back. Feet flat, knees bent, hands up in the air. We need to test strength. Sometimes weakness in the right glute can be a problem. So we're going to test this by doing what's called a bridge test. Hands up in the air, you're going to lift your butt up in the air. Kind of from this position, make sure you're creating a straight line, and I want you to extend your left leg. Now, keeping your pelvis level, I want you to count to 10. You should be able to count to 10 here, absolutely no problem. This should be like a walk in the park. You should be able to do this for 3-4 minutes. I can actually probably finish the video in this position. If you have any weakness in this glute here on my right leg, which is what I'm testing with my left leg extended, you're going to start feeling your hamstring start to shake. You'll start feeling this left hip start to drop down. You might even feel like you're about to cramp. Any of those things, you should stop because it's a sign that you have a weakness in this core glute area. Very important that this is stable, ankles mobile, to not sway. Now, just like every swing characteristics, there can be many other physical characteristics that can lead to this problem. So the best advice I can give you is go find one of our TPI certified professionals. Go to our Find an Expert tab, find a TPI certified professional near you. They'll finish the entire screen and really determine if your body's the problem. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to lay on our back. I'm going to have my feet flat. I like spreading my feet apart almost shoulder width to more apart. Okay, so my feet are wide. Hands are out. You can have your palms up, palms down, doesn't really matter. Just keep yourself stable here. Now what's important here is I'm going to let both my knees drop to the left and I'm going to let both my knees drop to the right. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to lift your lower back off the ground. Don't do that. Only go as far as you can comfortably, keeping your lower back as far to the ground as possible. Again, it's going to want to arch up, keep your back down. Anytime your back's lifting up, you're just rotating from your spine and not from your hips. This is supposed to be a hip exercise. Just let gravity do its thing. Back and forth. Don't force anything. You can let it sit there, back and forth. That's called hip drops.
Start by standing with your feet golf width apart and your arms directly out to your side. Remain in the standing position, and first we're going to rotate trying to keep the lower body quiet. We'll pretend we look like a helicopter and we're just turning our blades both left and right. And then after you get into it, start allowing the hips to start moving. And then what we're going to do is start adding a little transfer of weight. All right? This still is not a golf-specific motion, but what it's doing is getting the whole body into the rhythm of the golf swing and allowing for a little bit of disassociation from the upper body to the lower body.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get in this half-kneeling position, take your FMT tubing, attach it low to a door off to your left. Take your both hands, separate them on the FMT, palms facing down. You're going to perform a lift that looks just like this, trying to keep your chest pointing straight forward. Really do a couple reps here, really trying to keep your trunk stable and just use your shoulders. Once you've done that a couple times, now go ahead and add rotation. So now I'm going to let my trunk start to turn. I like following my hands with my eyes, really trying to keep my lower body as quiet as I can. That's a resisted half-kneeling lift, no rotation to rotation. This is a great exercise to start learning how to stabilize your lower body and disassociate your upper body at the same time. An important skill for developing power. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a stability ball. I've got a 65 centimeter ball here. You want somewhere between 55 and 65. You really want your thighs parallel with the ground. That's important. If you're going to make a mistake, make sure your hips are higher than your knees. You never want your knees higher than your hips. I've got an FMT tubing here. I'm going to attach it off about waist height off to the left. That's going to be our resistance. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start with a wide base. Get yourself knees farther than pelvic width apart, toes flared out a little bit, hold on to this band, and we're going to work on a horizontal chop. I'm going to go back and forth, nice stable lower body. Don't let your lower body move. Rotate your upper body back and forth. Now once you've got comfortable doing this, we're going to challenge your stability. We're going to go feet together. Now I'm at a narrow base. I'm going to go back and forth. Narrow base. Once I've done narrow base a couple times, I'm going to try single leg. Raise the right leg, get my chop going. And then the hardest one is when you try and lift the leg that's closest to the attachment, which is this one here. Really make sure you turn your shoulders. And that right there is going to really help build that stable base and that disassociation with the upper body.
This drill I like to call change of direction. Basically, this is a great drill to help synchronize your arms with your body, put you in a better lagged position and a better impact position. So what I'm going to have you do is take your normal setup position, but as soon as your lead arm gets parallel to the ground, I want you to change direction and swing the other way. So you're going to feel like your swing is quite short. What we're really looking for is explosiveness and some separation between your lower body and your upper body. So again, you're just going to go back like this. As soon as you get level to the ground, I want you to change direction and go the other way. As soon as my forearm's level, we change and go the other way. You're going to feel like your swing has a lot more dynamic movement to it. You're going to create a little bit more lag, and hopefully it's going to help sequence your golf swing better.